I'm gonna tell you guys a little story, and I'm out of here. That's one of my favorite stories. On the plains of Africa, out in the wilds, there was a lion, and he was king of the African jungle. And he used to stroll around the jungle with pride. And when he roared, all the animals knew that the king was here. And they bowed down because the king was in the area. They worshiped him. They were afraid of him because he possessed great power. And one day, as a king strolled through his domain with his young cub behind him, hunters came, and to the horror of his young cub son, he watched his father shot to death. And they captured this young cub. The young cub's name was Goliath. So it's Goliath's story that I want to tell you just a little bit about. They captured Goliath for the circus. And for 30 years, Goliath was part of Ringling Brothers' Barnum and Bailey circus. 30 years, Goliath raised up on his hind legs whenever they cracked the whip. And for 30 years, Goliath jumped through hoops. Rolled over and allowed his master to put his head in his mouth to show how tame and well trained Goliath had become. I can put my head in the mouth of this savage beast. Won't nothing happen, because Goliath knows that I am his master, and he is trained by me to be submissive and to yield to my power, because I am dominant, and Goliath knows this. So one day, when the crowd was at its largest, the arena was filled with spectators. Goliath entered the arena and he did his tricks. Rolled over, jumped through hoops, flaming hoops, and bowed down. And when it came time to perform his final trick, the one that silenced the crowd, where his master would put his head in Goliath's mouth and show everybody what control he had over this savage beast. Goliath opened wide his mouth, wider than ever before. And his master stuck his head in Goliath's mouth. And for no explainable reason, what happened? That's it. Goliath bit his head off. Snapped it clean off. Nothing standing there but some shoulders and legs. Head was gone. And they tried to figure out why, after 30 years, would today be different? Why, after 30 years, would Goliath all of a sudden, after performing this act thousands of times, why would he all of a sudden snap and bite his master's head off? Oh! Man, he said a whole lot right there. That's exactly it. Goliath remembered as a young cub how he watched his father be king of the jungle. He remembered how daddy roamed the jungle, the master of all that he surveyed. And he remembered that his father had promised him that one day this will be yours. One day, Goliath, you will be great. One day, you will be the king of the jungle. So for 30 years, Goliath fought back his nature. It was his nature, his destiny to be king, to rule, to be a savage, to destroy, to hunt, to maim, and to kill. It was Goliath's nature. That was what he was born to do. So for 30 years, he acted. He put on an act. He pretended to be submissive. So for 30 years, he fooled them into thinking that he was not what he was born to be. So after 30 years, when he gained their complete confidence, their complete trust, Goliath decided, I remember what you did to my father in the jungle 30 years ago. I remember that you slain my father and I watched him die. I remember what you did to the great king of the jungle. And I know what it takes to face death, knowing that he would be killed, because he seen what happened to his dad. He knew that he would be killed. But in his last act of defiance, in his last act in the land of the living, Goliath decided that I'm going to show all of you. I've been in captivity for 30 years. I've played your games. But today is the last day. Today, I will show you my birthright. I will show you that I am still a lion and that I am still king. I'm still the king. And for one last chance, I will show you. I will still roar. And no matter what you do, no matter what you can do to me, I will show you that I'm still a lion and that I am king. How do I know? How would I know what a lion is thinking? How would I know? How would I know what? Because I too know what it's like to be king, the very best at what you do. From Russia, Yugoslavia, to Siberia, Transylvania, I was king. Well, nobody could lift more weight than me. I ruled my domain. Doctors told me before my last competition, if you go out there, you could die trying to lift that much weight. The strain would be too much for your heart. I knew my heart was bad before I went out there. So I know how Goliath felt. I know what it is to have a death sentence hanging over your head, but can't help yourself. I could not help myself. I trained my whole life to be the best on the planet. And even knowing that it might kill me, it is no way I was not going to compete because it was my destiny. It was my destiny to be king, to be the best. It was in me. So there's no way. So I know what Goliath thought because I was Goliath. I was faced with death. And I chose gladly. I was happy. I looked at my doctor like he was crazy. You think I'm not gonna compete after all the work? This is what I live for. I am obsessed with this. So if it costs my life, if I die in the pursuit of my obsession, my magnificent obsession, then so be it. Today, in front of the largest crowd I ever performed in front of, if I die in pursuit of my magnificent obsession, so be it. Good. I'm glad I went out doing what I love. Live an extraordinary life. Don't settle for an ordinary life. It's easy to be ordinary. Anybody can do that. Find your magnificent obsession. Whatever it is, and let nothing or no one tell you that you can't do it. Tell them to sit back and watch me. Just sit back and watch me do it. Find your obsession. Go after that. I could care less what anybody else says. And don't let anything stop you from getting. Thank you for your time.